Hello and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Stanley, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Stanley's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the corrections and the motivations we give the dogs while we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred's using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he'll keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, which leaves the left hand free to give the correction. The correction that we give is just a tug and let go on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Fred will keep that collar high up behind Stanley's ears, which will give you the most control over him while you're trying to work him through his commands. You'll notice that Stanley is seated very nicely on Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. The first command that we'll demonstrate for you today is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and Fred and Stanley will take off doing that now. The command is Stanley heel, and you'll notice that he's been trained to walk very nicely on your left at your pace. So there should be no lagging behind or pulling forward, and incorporated into the heel exercise is an automatic sit. This occurs anytime you stop moving your feet. Stanley will sit nicely on your left side waiting for his next command. Very good job. The next command we'll demonstrate for you today is the stay command. The stay is a hand and a voice command. You're going to use the open flat of your left palm an inch or so in front of Stanley's muzzle and the one-word firm command to stay. You'll then walk out to the end of the training leash, and Stanley should remain seated throughout the entire exercise. When you first start out, you're going to start at a low time increment and build up his ability to stay for longer periods of time. When Fred returns back to Stanley, he'll walk all the way around him, and Stanley should remain seated until he receives praise or another command. Very good job. And we'll run through the heel, the sit, and the stay again for you. It's important that through the entire training process you keep Stanley interested and motivated. Praise him, let him know he's doing a good job. You want him to enjoy the training process. This time, instead of returning back to Stanley, Fred will demonstrate the recall or the come on command. Stanley's been trained to come in and sit nicely right in front of you, no jumping up. And then we have an exercise called the finish. The command is Stanley heel, and he'll walk around and return back to heel position. Very good job. I'll show that to you again. When you're calling Stanley, always use a light, happy voice to encourage him in. Let him know he's doing a good job. You'll notice he's wagging. He really does enjoy completing his commands. And then he'll heel around the back to heel position. Very good job. Although it's important to incorporate all of these commands into your daily life, it's equally important to set aside about 10 minutes a day to perform a routine such as this video to keep the commands fresh and just practice with him, both inside and outside. The next command we'll demonstrate for you is the down command. You're going to use the open flat of your left palm straight down towards the ground and the one-word firm command to down. He's a little slow about it, but he did it. This is a great exercise to help develop his maturity and self-control, so you can practice this often. Right in your living room while you're trying to watch TV or while you're trying to eat dinner. Build up his ability to stay in this position for longer periods of time. When Fred returns back to Stanley, he'll walk all the way around him as he did in the sit-stay, and Stanley should remain lying down until he receives praise or another command. Very good job. We'll show that to you again. Very good job. Instead of returning back to Stanley, Fred will call him in this time. Very good job. Back to heel position. Very good job. He started to lie down, so Fred told him no, he's going to heel him out of that. Good job. The last command that we're going to set up for now is down from a distance. Fred's going to leave Stanley in a sit stay. And this time he'll give him the down command from the end of the training leash.
Down.
He had to repeat it again, but that's okay. He did follow through. These are all the formal obedience commands that Stanley has learned while he's been here at school with us. It's been such a pleasure having Stanley here. We've really enjoyed having him, and we thank you so much for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.